Bonsoir. 10 ans déjà qu'un des groupes les plus prometteurs de la perfide Albion nous réchauffe les oreilles avec son rock qui nous prend aux tripes. Mais cette fois-ci, nos 4 garçons de Sheffield reviennent de la Cité des Anges avec un 5e album particulièrement sexy en diable. Alex Turner et ses acolytes nous font l'insigne honneur de venir foutre le feu sur le plateau de la Musicale live, la guitare bien sale, le cuir bien huilé et la banane tendue. Mesdames, messieurs, préparez-vous ce soir à partager une heure exquise avec nos nuitards loupards, les Arctic Monkeys.
Merci beaucoup. Take it away.
One for the road. Ooh, one for the road. Ooh. From the bottom of your heart, the relegation zone. I saw this coming from the start. The shake, rattle, and roll. All the cracks in blackout blinds cast patterns on the ceiling, but you're feeling fine. I thought it was dark outside. I thought it was dark outside. So we all go back to yours and you sit and talk to me on the floor. There's no need to show me around, baby, I feel like I've been here before. I've been wondering where the lights are when you tell everybody to go. Will you buy me one for the road? I knew this would be on the card. I knew you wouldn't fold. I saw this coming from the start. The shake, rattle, and roll. So we all go back to yours and you sit and talk to me on the floor. There's no need to show me around, baby, I feel like I've been here before. I've been wondering where the lights are when you tell everybody to go. Will you buy me one for the road? The mixture hits you hard. Don't get that sinking feeling, don't fall apart. Some out chewing guitar, soundtrack to disaster. So we all go back to yours and you sit and talk to me on the floor. But there's no need to show me around, baby, I feel like I've been here before. I've been wondering where the lights are when you tell everybody to go. Will you buy me one for the road?
Arabella, folks.
Arabella's got some interstellar gator skin boots and a helter-skelter around her little finger, and I ride it endlessly. She's got a Barbarella silver swimsuit, and when she needs to shelter from reality, she takes a dip in my daydreams. My days end best when the sunset gets itself behind that little lady sitting on the passenger side. It's much less picturesque without her catching the light. The horizon tries, but it's just not as kind on the eye. Is Arabella? Is Arabella? Just might have tapped into your mind and soul. You can be sure. And Arabella's got a 70s head, but she's a modern lover. It's an exploration. She's made of outer space, and her lips are like the galaxy's edge, and I kiss the color of a constellation falling into place. Yeah, my days end best when the sunset gets itself behind that little lady sitting on the passenger side. It's much less picturesque without her catching the light. The horizon tries, but it's just not as kind on the eye. Is Arabella? Oh. Arabella, just might have tapped into your mind and soul. You can be sure that's magic and a cheetah print coat just to slip underneath it. I hope asking if I can have one of those organic cigarettes that she smokes, wraps her lips around a Mexican coat, makes you wish that you wear the bottle, takes a sip of your soul, and it sounds like just might have tapped into your mind and soul. You can be sure. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. How you feeling, everybody? How do you like the new Monkeys record? Did you hear it yet? Well, if not, it's okay. We're going to play a few numbers from it right now. This one's called Number One Party Anthem, thanks. So you're on the prowl, wondering whether she left already or not. A leather jacket, collar pop like antenna, never knowing when to stop. Sunglasses indoors, par for the course, lights in the floors and sweat on the walls, and cages and poles. Call off the search for your soul, or put it on hold again. She's having a sly indoor smoke, 'cause she calls the folks who run this, her oldest friends, sipping a drink and laughing at imaginary jokes. as all the signals are sent. Her eyes invite you to approach, and it seems as though those lumps in your throat that you just swallowed have got you going. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Number one party anthem. She's a certified mind blower, knowing full well that I don't. I may suggest there's somewhere from which I might know her, just to get the ball to roll. A drunken monologue's confused because it's not like I'm falling in love. I just want you to do me no good, and you look like you could. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Number one party anthem. Come on, come on, come on. Before the moment's gone. Number one party anthem. Yeah, yeah. But look how low, the rush of blood, the she's with me. The shutterbugs, the camera plugs, the black and white and the color dark, the good time girls, the cubicles, the house of fun, the number one party anthem. Jones slaying the B3 there. Sounds in your ears make you feel alright. They bring you back to life. Mad sounds in your ears, they make you get up and dance. They make you get up. Yeah, they make you get up. Love buckles under the strain of those wild nights. Run, but you cannot hide. Mad sounds in your ears, they make you get up and dance. They make you get up all night long. They reappear, they make you get gotta do. We just weren't feeling how we wanted to. You sit and try sometimes, but you just can't figure out what went wrong. Then out of nowhere, somebody comes and hits you with an ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh. Ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh. You got those mad sounds in your ear that make you get up and down. Mad sounds in your ears that make you get up and down. What don't they make you get up? Oh yeah, they make you get up.
That's really fucking slow. Don't mind it though. Thank you very much. It was called Fireside. Check it out.
I can't explain, but I wanna try. There's this image of you and I, and it goes dancing by in the morning and in the night time. There's all these secrets that I can't keep. Like in my heart there's that hotel suite, and you lived there so long. It's kinda strange now you're gone. I'm not sure if I should show you what I found. Has it gone for good, or is it coming back around? Isn't it hard to make up your mind when you're losing and your fuse is fireside? There's all these places we used to go, and I suspect you already know. But that place on memory lane you like still looks the same, but something about it's changed. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should show you what I found. Has it gone for good, or is it coming back around? Isn't it hard to make up your mind when you're losing and your fuse is fireside? And I thought I was yours forever. Or maybe I was mistaken. Oh no, I just cannot manage to make image tells me it's home time, but I'm not finished, 'cause you're not by my side. And as I arrived, I thought I saw you leaving, carrying your shoes. Decided that once again I was just dreaming of bumping into you. Now it's 3 in the morning and I'm trying to change your mind. Left you multiple missed calls, and to my message you replied. Why'd you only call me when you're high? High. Why'd you only call me when you're high? Somewhere darker, talking the same shite. I need a partner. Well, are you out tonight? It's harder and harder to get you to listen. More I get through the gears, incapable of making alright decisions and having bad ideas. Now it's 3 in the morning and I'm trying to change your mind. Left you multiple missed calls, and to my message you replied. Why'd you only call me when you're high? High. Why'd you only call me when you're high? Yeah. And I can't see you here, wonder where am I? It sort of feels like I'm running out of time. I haven't found what I was hoping to find. You said you gotta be up in the morning, gonna have an early night, and you're starting to bomb me, baby. Why'd you only call me when you're high? It's called Snap Out, everybody. What's been happening in your world? What have you been up to? I heard that you fell in love near enough. I gotta tell you the truth, yeah. I wanna grab both the shoulders and shake, baby. Snap out of it, snap out of it. I get the feeling I left it too late, but baby, snap out of it, snap out of it. If our whites don't continue to swing out of fact, lady dances out in a sing, I'll be here waiting ever so patiently for you to snap out of here. Forever isn't for everyone, is forever for you. It sounds like settling down. I'll give it
Merci beaucoup.
Are drawn out long, and you're kissing to cut through the gloom with a cough drop colored tongue. And you were sitting in the corner with the coats all piled high when I thought you might be mine. In a small world on an exceptionally rainy Tuesday night, in the right place and time, when the zeros line up on the 24-hour clock, when you know who's calling even though the number is blocked, when you walked around your house wearing my sky blue Lacoste and your knee socks. Well, you cured my January blues. Yeah, you made it all alright. I got a feeling I might have lit the very fuse that you were trying not to light. And you're a stranger in my phone book. I was acting like I knew much better than I do. When the winter's in full swing and your dreams just aren't coming true, ain't it funny what y'all do when the zeros line up on the 24-hour clock? When you know who's calling even though the number is blocked. When you walked around your house wearing my sky blue Lacoste and your knee socks. The late afternoon, the ghost in your room that you always thought didn't approve of your knocking boots never stopped you letting me get hold of the sweet spot by the scruff of your socks.
Could have been a TV chatter half of a king and queen seat. Like the beginning of Main Street, you could be my baby. Could have been a TV chatter half of a king and queen seat. Like the beginning of Main Street, you could be my baby.
Around your house wearing my sky blue Lacoste and your knee socks. When the zeros line up on the 24-hour clock, when you know who's calling even though the number is blocked, you walked around your house wearing my sky blue Lacoste and your knee socks.
Are you enjoying yourselves so far? Are you having a good time there? Yeah? People? Very good. It's a real pleasure to be able to come and do this show again. Like, thank you for having me.
you like your coffee hot, let me be your coffee pot. You call the shots, babe, I just wanna be your secrets I have held in my heart are harder to hide than I thought. Maybe I just wanna be yours. I wanna be yours. I wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. Let me be your lucky meter, and I'll never run out. Let me be the portable heater that y'all get cold without. I wanna be your setting lotion, hold your hair in deep devotion, at least as deep as the Pacific Ocean. I wanna be yours. Oh, secrets I have held in my heart are harder to hide than I thought. Maybe I just wanna be yours. I wanna be yours. I wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. I wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. Wanna be yours. Let me be your vacuum cleaner, or breathing in your dust. I wanna be your Ford Cortina, I will never rust. I just wanna be yours. I just wanna be yours. Oh, I just wanna be yours. Yeah. Oh. Thank you. Round of applause for Mr. Bill Ryder Jones on the guitar there, please.
So that one was I Wanna Be Yours, folks. But the question is, are you mine, baby?
I'm a puppet on a string, Tracy Island, time traveling diamond, cut a sheep tart age. They come to find you, for in some velvet morning, years too late. She's a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space. In my mind when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy, 'cause he's where I wanna be. And satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself, alright. What I ever say is, are you mine? Well, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? Oh, I guess what I'm trying to say is I need the deep end, keep imagining meeting wished away. Entire lifetimes unfair, we're not somewhere misbehaving for days. Great escape, let's try. time and space. He's a silver lining climbing on my desire, and I go crazy 'cause here is where I wanna be. And satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself. All I wanna hear her say is, are you mine? Well, are you mine?
You might do my
Are you mine?
just might do mine.
Are you mine? Oh, am I full of the chase in a mysterious way? So in case I'm mistaken, I just wanna hear you say you got me, baby. Are you mine? She's a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space. In my mind, when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy 'cause here is where I wanna be. And satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself. All I wanna ever say is, are you mine? Well, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Good evening, Matt.
Good evening.
Good evening, Alex.
Good evening,
Welcome.
Emma. Thank you.
Welcome to the Musicale.
Thank you for having us.
So we're going to talk about your new album, AM. And I know you spent longer in the studio on this album than you did on your others. Is it important for you to give yourself time?
I think so. I think the way we went about making this record was a little bit different to how we've worked in the past. Typically, in the past, we've had periods of time where we would do a sort of pre-production phase and we'd write songs and work out what everybody's going to play, and then we'd go and record them for like 3 weeks or something. Whereas this time we managed to get our own place. We took a long lease on this grubby little studio and made it our own, and did a lot of writing in the studio. And because it was our own place, it meant we could just record everything for as long as we wanted and experiment a little bit more. And I think that shows on the new long player.
But you started recording after touring with the Black Keys in 2012, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Did you want to take that energy from touring into the studio?
That was the plan, wasn't it, Matthew, originally?
Indeed.
We put a song out just before that Black Keys tour called Are You Mine, which we included on the LP because that was the impetus for the rest of the record, really. The plan was, because Are You Mine got such a good reaction, and we all felt it was the best song we'd had for ages. And live, during that Black Keys tour, we'd play it, and, you know, you could just... There's so much, like... You get a lot of energy back from the crowd with that particular tune. So our plan was to make a whole record that would surround that song.
Then you decided to finish recording before Glastonbury.
Yeah.
So how good it is to have a deadline. Was it useful?
I think this time it was useful. Usually, I mean, in the past we've been quite quick, or always had a bit more of a plan going into the studio, so we knew when we'd finish. But yeah, I think this time we could have probably got a bit more carried away if we didn't have a deadline. Because I mean, we saw how bands can kind of get a bit lost in it and keep seeing what's around the corner. But luckily we had a bit of discipline.
Discipline, really?
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah.
So the first time anybody heard your new songs was when you played them live at Glastonbury. That seems a very brave thing to do. What was the audience reaction?
It was great, yeah. We didn't really... We only played a couple of songs at Glastonbury. There was one song that was out there already, Do I Wanna Know, which is the first track on the record, and we've been opening with that all summer, really, simply because we can't really make it fit anywhere else in the show, but...
It's a good song to start with.
I think so, yeah. It sets its own and in the way you want to set it. But yeah, we did that and Are You Mine, and maybe one more, but I think for Glastonbury, it was a lot more
exciting,
retrospective, yeah. And, you know, did a lot of old songs and I suppose a greatest hits set, you might say.
Journalists like to categorize bands, and yet some of the greatest bands of the last 50 years have been impossible to categorize. How important is it to you to constantly grow, experiment, and change?
I think it definitely has been important to get us to this point, that we continue to evolve and look for something else each time, like what's behind the next secret door.
And you don't want yourself to be categorized?
I think it's healthy to look at it that way, or at least I like to think, going into making a record, I think assuming that nobody has heard your previous albums is quite a good idea, you know, like, because I suppose we've made a few records now, and one thing I have learned is whatever it is that makes it sound like the Arctic Monkeys is sort of built into the four of us playing, so you can push the other parameters, I suppose, further than I first thought you could, you know, and it'll still have the identity of the band. And I guess this new record is, you know, we push that idea of like a four-piece rock and roll band to its extreme.
But there's the American influence, and I heard that some people said that you have discovered the Elvis inside of you.
Right.
So, is it true?
Hopefully. I don't know.
I hope so. I mean, well, there's some signs.
There's something there, there's a little thing going on upstairs there that you might have borrowed from... Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, realistically, I mean, it's going to take a lot more than a haircut to get me close to Elvis, Emma.
Of course, but there's something about the crooner inside you that comes out that we can hear in your voice.
All right, well...
Definitely on this album.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, you can. I know that you used a cheap 4-track Fostex cassette recorder for your first demos. How early on do you know if a song is going to work?
I think, we did a lot of demos on the 4-track cassette recorder, which is something we used to mess around with in the very early days of the band, and then kind of have been going about it differently recently. But this time, I don't know, I think we got into a rehearsal space, or the studio, and we were all kind of set up in a kind of, I guess, like this, and it just didn't feel right. There was something about it, we kind of weren't really getting anywhere. And so I suppose we got the 4-track recorder out to see if we could go a different route, and and it definitely leads you down a... Because I suppose I wrote a lot of lyrics and melodies to these recordings that were on that machine. And I don't know, I kind of believe that certain old bits of... whether it's a musical instrument or a 4-track recorder, it's like they have songs or ideas trapped inside them, like
They have
ghosts.
a spirit.
Exactly, yeah. There's like ghosts in their walls that you can kind of set free somehow. And I definitely think that, you know, I got loads of songs out of that piece of machinery, or you know, that I kind of arrived at conclusions I wouldn't have done sitting on an acoustic guitar, you know.
Or at the piano.
Or at the piano, because I can't even play it.
Less likely to
So
reach
I was
any sort of
really,
conclusion.
yeah.
The influences on this album are very eclectic. I'm hearing a little bit of Captain Beefheart, Black Sabbath, Fleetwood Mac, but also some R&B. Are there any other influences we wouldn't expect from you?
I think you've sort of... I mean, maybe the R&B thing came as a surprise to some people. But yeah, I guess it's like... I suppose we wanted it to sound like the Spiders from Mars covering an Aaliyah tune or something, sometimes.
Warren G, Dr. Dre.
Of course, yeah. All them things have been things... That was almost like our unique selling point in the beginning, was that we knew about, like,
Ex-girlfriend
hip-hop.
music.
Exactly. And I guess this album, we're just wearing that on our sleeve a little more. But I think it's still relatively subtle. You know, we borrowed some parts of the melodies or the vocal production from, like, some of that music, but... Or the way the drums sound, I don't know. But, like, yeah, there's still no kind of rapping.
And what about the Space Choir Boys and their cosmic opera melodies? That's how you call the...
That's what it is, yeah.
So Matt, you're singing?
I'm full of it.
Yeah, a lot of singing, yeah.
A lot of falsettos?
Yeah, I know, I didn't realise that was in me. I used to just shout as high as I could.
Yeah.
Then I just got over this brink of into the world of falsetto, as did Nick.
Yeah, Nick and you're both singing. Is it easy to sing? Is it easy to sing in the studio, and then when you have to sing on stage? Is it?
I mean, in studio, I suppose we put more attention on it, so there's more scrutiny. But it is. I quite enjoy it in the studio. Like really, I become somebody else.
Oh.
Like Mariah Carey or something like that.
Oh my God! There's a Mariah Carey in you.
Just, yeah, who knew?
Okay.
R. Kelly mainly. I should have gone with a man probably with that. But anyway, I'm not afraid. But then live, main issue I'm having at the moment is a bit of neck pain. But
Yeah?
I'm not gonna.
Because you have to switch. You have to-
Just that. I mean, for some of them I'm there for a long time, but I'm all over here. We'll get through it.
Your drums have never sounded like this before. So what was different about your approach this time?
I think we like simplified everything quite a bit at the low end, but and a lot of that was to do with how we were recording on the demos on the little machine that we recorded. 'Cause it meant that we just like in the writing process, I just record like drums for 3 minutes and then the bass had gone in, and then Alex would like write to that in some cases, and just due to the fact that we were recording on this machine, it meant like playing a bit quieter and like simplifying things, which
And sometimes a little bit more hip hop too.
yeah, because I mean I've always, like we were saying, I've always been into that, like from school before I kind of got into guitar music, and so there's always been a bit of swing.
Josh Homme came to sing on Knee Socks.
He did.
You know him well. He produced your third album, Hamburg. You, Alex, you sung on the last record of the Queens of the Stone Age. Do you have an impact on each other's creativity?
Well, he certainly had an impact on ours during the making of that third record. And perhaps you could say that record affected everything that came after it. So the answer is yes, from our end anyway, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I love their new record. We always have been kind of huge fans of their bands because they're sort of trying to do something, you know, which you don't I suppose you don't get a lot of bands that are reaching for something, yeah. So.
He was there a few months ago. He was there with Queens of the Stone Age, and he was telling us how instinctive his approach of music is. I was wondering if you got the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you know, the moment you feel like you get that sort of spark, and then you record it, you know, there'll be something in that recording that you won't be able to recreate. Like, and I suppose that on this record, like a lot of that stuff we were talking about before, the 4-track, you know, we kept some of that stuff in there, and it kind of became the skeleton to which we added things. Because you just can't. You think, oh, when you try and do it again properly, it's never
the same.
Kind of the same. Yeah, there's something about that first time you do something. Yeah, and when the instinct is fresh.
Fresh. There's also other people collaborating on this album. James Ford as a producer.
Yeah.
Pete Thomas, who's Elvis Costello's drummer. Bill Ryder-Jones from the choral. By the way, you came with him tonight.
Yeah.
How did you meet?
With Bill? Well,
with Bill.
Yeah, well, we toured with the choral a few years ago now. I don't know, it could be getting on for like 30 years ago, I think.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're 27, Alex. Remember?
But I think it was like 30 years, like somewhere back in the 70s.
Back in the days.
Yeah. So we toured with the choral then, and we became firm friends, and I've required his services a couple of times. Like you just mentioned the submarine thing a little bit ago, or was that in the 70s as well? I don't know. Like he kind of came and played some guitar and piano on that, and he plays on this song called Fireside on the new record, which
so you took
I just kept spoiling when I tried to do a guitar solo. So we kind of.
So you took him on tour.
Well, he's going to do the show with us tonight, yeah, and play Fireside and some others, and yeah.
The last song, I Want to Be Yours, is a poem by John Cooper Clarke, who is known as a punk poet. But for the French audience who might not have heard of him, can you tell us about him and why did you choose this poem?
It's, well, it was actually we're all huge fans of his work. And this was actually the first poem of his I ever heard. And I suppose it's been stored somewhere at the back of my brain ever since. And one day, maybe I just ran out of ideas and we were sitting there, or I was sitting there with this recording of this kind of ugly piece of music it was at the time. It had really sharp edges and it was kind of just a bit difficult sounding. And then I, for some reason, started singing some lines from his poem over the top of it. And then it was transformed, and then it kind of went through another few lives and became like what it is on the record. But yeah, he's just... when I first started writing lyrics, he was one of the people who was a big influence on that. And I always admired the way he would take something relatively mundane and kind of make it colourful and captivating.
Have you ever thought about bringing him on stage?
He did come on stage once years ago, and he introduced us at Brixton Academy in London, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's got a great stage presence, like, and it's, I don't know.
He's doing
style.
Performances. And
yeah, well, that's where I kind of first saw him, really, was opening. He used to work on this bar in Sheffield where bands would play. And so, like, one night of the week, it'd be like a Thin Lizzy tribute band. The other night, it'd be like the unsigned bands night. And, like, Rory Gallagher some other day. And then, like, The Fall played a show there one night, and I got to work that one, and Johnny Clark was opening for The Fall, and he was
Great
sort of
band,
just
The
pulling
Fall.
pints, and was sort of mesmerised by him, like, rustling through his kind of plastic bag and just pulling out, like, these pearls of wisdom. And he was the first person and only person, I think, ever to compliment the name Arctic Monkeys for a band, and that's kind of why we stuck with that name. We met him, and we just started a band then, and we were telling him about it, and we told him the name, and he was like, "Oh, it's a great name. Like, he said it's like a picture of trauma, you know." And then that's why we sort of stuck with the name, because. Yes.
If it's approved by
really,
John Cooper Clarke, then thank you, Matt. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for being here with us tonight, and good luck for your big tour.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Allez, salut maintenant.